Hello, hello. Hello, hello, everybody. If you're joining me live, I'm checking on my phone real quick to make sure that this is actually working. Yes, it is. All right, good stuff. So if you are catching the replay of this, you might want to fast forward a minute or two. I'm just going to give it a minute. If anybody wants to hop on live with me, I'm at tlrzoom.com, or you can watch in the Broker Talk community right here. Either way is good. But like I said, if you're watching the replay, you might want to fast forward about a minute before we get started here. Hope everybody's having a great, productive day and or week so far. Facebook has recently, relatively recently, messed with some of the settings and stuff as it relates to live streaming from Zoom into Facebook groups. So I haven't done this in a hot minute, but we're going to use this as an experiment to make sure I still remember how. But it looks like the feed is coming through. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. For those of you that are not aware, my name is Jake. Hang on one second. Yep. My name is Jake Dixon. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called The Locker Room, but recently we also launched a new community uh, on its own for independent broker owners specifically. And that community is called the R.E.L.C, stands for the Real Estate Leadership Circle. And we're really excited for this. And that's what this demo or conversation, if you will, is really all about. I'll maybe take 15, 20 minutes of your time. If you're watching the replay, put me on 1.5, 2x speed, and you can do that as well. I take no offense to that. But that being said, I'm going to share my screen and pray that this works. Hang on one second. Again, I'm just going to do a quick check on my phone to see that it comes through the way I need it to. Looks good on my phone, which means hopefully you're seeing it as well. Okay, very good. So let's rock and roll. As I said, my name is Jake, founder, CEO of Locker Room, founder, CEO of the R.E.L.C. Could not be more excited to share this with all of you. Again, this is very specific to independent broker owners and or leadership members of independent broker owners. If you're part of a franchise or a team or something, hey, we love you. We still are here to serve you, just in different capacity than what this is about today. So perhaps you've heard of the R.E.L.C. And again, the snapshot is just a glimpse of what it is and why you should care and what the benefits are that await you. So without further ado, let's dive in. I want to start by asking a question. These are the common challenges, probably for any broker owner, but specific to independent broker owners after we have worked with hundreds of different indie brokers and brands. Last year, fun fact, I set out on a mission, a 90-day mission, where I interviewed 100 independent broker owners outside of our any form of partnership or doing business together. I just wanted to get out in the wild, wild west and see what the pulse was of things, doing a little market study. And I asked broker owners, probably some of you in this very group, in fact, what some of the common problems and challenges were and how they would articulate their value propositions, how they go about recruiting and standing out. You get the picture. Here are the top things that I heard, and maybe you can relate with some, if not all of them. Let's start with at the very top at 12 o'clock with recruiting. Maybe right now you have said or caught yourself saying, I'm not recruiting because I either don't like it, I lack the motivation to do it, I lack the time to do it. It is a real struggle for a lot of broker owners because if you don't have a recruiter, much like everything else, you are the recruiter. What about retention? I don't know about you, but this constant worry around retention and concerns of who might be leaving, who's exploring other companies without you knowing it? They're just flying under the radar. You guys, when I used to lead, when I was a CEO of a very large real estate company, I would wake up every day in this unhealthy state of paranoia. I'm not even kidding. And every day I would wonder, well, who's leaving me today? Who's talking with so and so down the road today? And I don't know about you, but that's no place to live in that constant state of worry or paranoia. How about agent productivity? How many of your agents right now are underperforming? They don't have consistent production. They're inconsistent in their activities and therefore they're inconsistent in their performance. Probably sounds familiar. What about brokerage profitability? We've got a constant pressure and squeeze on profit margins. The agents out there are having to defend their value and commissions more than ever before. And it takes a toll. A lot of brokerages out there are struggling to even be profitable unless they themselves are still in production to make up for any lost revenues. Okay. How about leverage? Maybe this one sounds familiar to you. You're wearing all the hats right now, feeling burnout, desperately in need of leverage, but again, don't have the time, don't have the money or resources, or even the know-how to obtain it. So it's Groundhog Day. Every day is the same, and you're just fighting to survive. You're on that treadmill, just trying to keep your head above water. This is a big one, the UVP, unique value proposition. This is one of the things that stood out to me the most when I was doing my interviews and market research, asking brokers, what is your unique value proposition? A lot of times I got back superficial things like caps and splits and fees and some of that stuff. And although that is a consideration, it is not unique. There's nothing unique about that. And be careful because the same reason an agent will join you could be the same reason they will leave you. And there's always somebody willing to do it cheaper. So even knowing or being able to defend and articulate what is your unique value proposition. Culture, right? Lack of engagement. Anybody else out there struggling right now with agent engagement, which is cultural? Yeah, probably. A lot of people are. Systems, same thing with leverage, not enough time, resources, manpower to create those systems in order to be more efficient and effective. And what about feeling isolated? We talked about this with burnout and stuff like that. I just recently read some Harvard Business Review studies and things that burnout leads to loneliness. Loneliness, in other words, being isolated. And when you're isolated or feeling lonely, that leads to disengagement. And when we disengage, that leads to underperformance. It's this vicious cycle. And so many broker owners out there, especially independent broker owners, very much feel isolated. Leadership can be lonely, and yet it doesn't have to be. And we believe that there is, in fact, a better way. But this is where you feel like nobody understands you. Nobody's patting you on the back. Nobody's recognizing you. And you're pouring from an empty cup, trying to help every other person while you don't even take care of yourself. Anybody feel that way? Yeah. So again, these are the common things. My question to you is, and if you want to type this in the chat, full transparency, this is a safe space. How many from this list describe you or that you can relate to right now in any sort of form or fashion? Go ahead if you're watching this and type a number in the chat for me of how many of these speak to you, relate with you. Okay. Now, guess what? We know that running a business is tough. The puzzle pieces to make this all come together, especially if you're independent. And again, you might not have the resources or access to certain companies and the big box franchises and things that they offer. And yet, I'd like to believe that doesn't leave you at a disadvantage. We just need to get creative and find a better way. And as I mentioned earlier, after talking with so many and working with so many, I believe that we have found the answer. And in fact, there is a better way. And the common denominator, taking all these different pieces and struggles and challenges and distilling them down to one answer, one bite-sized solution, I think it boils down to this: the lack of community, the lack of a culture of collaboration because you feel isolated and burnout. And whether it has to do with recruiting, retention, culture, you name it, we are not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to do this alone. We have to band together. Business is hard. Leadership can be lonely, but doesn't have to be lonely. And as leaders, as resourceful people, sometimes we need to lean in rather than retract and lean out. We too have to find our tribe. We too have to be a part of a culture, a community that's bigger, greater than ourselves, where we can lock arms around a common purpose, a common mission, and truly care about the health and well-being of each other. That's what makes it a community. Otherwise, it's just a group. But when you truly care and you want to give as much as you take from the community, that's when you know you've got something special. This is a glimpse at some of the events we have done for broker owners. The one on the left was at Nashville a few years ago. The one most recently was in Greenville, South Carolina at the baseball stadium. And we've done others in between these times in Orlando and so forth. We've got another one coming up that I'll tell you about later. But the point is, we were not meant to do this alone. Your agents are getting everything from you. You're pouring into them. But who's pouring in to you? Okay? And I believe whatever your challenge or opportunity and struggle is, it can be solved by being a part of an intentional community that genuinely cares about each other. I am here to create a vision where we as independent brokers can band together and lock arms and put the real estate industry on notice, because last time I checked, somewhere around the ballpark of 53% of agents, north of 50% of the production in our industry stems from independent brokerages. Did you know that? It's not the big boxes. It's not the franchises. It's us. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather shop local. I believe real estate is a hyper local business. And rather than getting my groceries at the big box store of Walmart, I'd rather give my money and buy my groceries from the locally owned grocery store up the street. And I believe real estate is very much the same way. I think independents are the future of real estate. So we are here to create a community where we can lock arms. You probably went into this business for a lot of reasons, but we're pretty sure we've got it figured out here right alongside you, because we are you. We believe that you chose to be independent. We also believe that independence doesn't have to mean that you're doing it alone. And in fact, we are stronger together when we band together and care about one another's well-being. You didn't start this, as Reed says here, you didn't start this, I'll bet, to compete on commission splits. Really? Is that what we've come to? No. Go back to that day when you had that spark, that vision of a bigger, brighter future, and how you wanted to impact and lead other people. And it wasn't being the sacrificial lamb, right? Where now we're just shrinking ourselves and trying to compete with the Joneses over here. No, push your shoulders back, stand tall, and be proud of who you are and what you've built. Get back to the core foundation of your unique value proposition and get loud and proud about it. So, anyways, we believe that our vision is your vision. As I mentioned, you probably started your brokerage for freedom, just like agents start out. You wanted autonomy. You wanted a bigger impact. I'll bet a big percentage of you watching this right now started your own brokerage because you were a part of someone else's brokerage, a part of someone else's vision. And you said, nah, I think there's a better way. Or you said, no, I don't quite align or believe with that. And so that's inspiring me to go create something that I do believe in. And I'm going to attract people who believe in that same thing. I'll bet you that for most of you, that was the origin point of why you started your own independent brokerage. And we are here to band together. I am all about community building. You guys, I want to bring a group of like-minded, positive people together who care about each other, who can march together in lockstep towards a bigger, brighter future, a mission, and a vision that's compelling even during the hardest of the hardest days. And not sitting here behind our laptops or in our local communities isolated, but rather saying, no, I've got my people too. In the days when I'm having a rough day, I can go to them knowing they're going to pick me up. In the days that I'm having a great day, I'm going to look to my community and say, who can I help lift up? Because I can probably inspire you today. That's a community. Okay. So I give you the R.E.L.C. That is a C, not an O. It's not RELO. It's R.E.L.C. The Real Estate Leadership Circle, independent by choice, strengthened by community. That is what we are doing. And so I want to just briefly explain what the heck is it so you can decide, hey, which route is best for me. It's crazy to think, if you can hear my voice and see me right now, that at least 100% of you wouldn't join for free. Yes, there's a free option. But what we're doing is taking it offline, off of Facebook and other social media distractions. We don't want it to be another group. It's a community where we have an actual rally call, tons and tons of value and collaboration happening, referrals being sent back and forth. That's what this is. We're taking it outside of the, you know, distractions and unstructured clutter of most Facebook groups, all these random discussions that maybe don't apply to you. I was just a part of one yesterday where people were posting cockroaches and weird stuff because bots and spam are taking over all these groups, and it's just flooded with distractions and notifications. The R.E.L.C is in a specific software that we have designed and built for this that is organized. It's purpose driven. You go there for a purpose and you take what you want and get out. No distractions. We've got curated resources, masterminds, trainings that are happening constantly. The community is leading this. You guys are leading this. Exactly what you put in is exactly what you're going to take away. You got a question, it's a safe space. You're going to have tons of independent broker owners weighing in and collaborating with you, and vice versa. We even have gamification. We get to have fun, don't we? Yes. Stop taking ourselves so seriously all the time. So we even have a leader in rewards program that I'll speak to encourage your engagement and win prizes and things along the way. And we're always putting out new relevant content. Here's what Brian recently said. I absolutely love this. He posted this in the IBN group for anybody that's in there. He says, I joined. I'm tired of hearing about national and international brokerages. My firm is the largest office in our market, independent or otherwise, and I love the idea of my agents going into a listing appointment and saying, we are a part of a national collective of independent brokerages, which represents the majority of agents and transactions across the country. And this network helps us promote our properties across company lines, which gives more exposure to our clients. That's the power of being independent. And Brian said this group is a step in that direction. So thank you, Brian. We agree. And I think you are seeing the vision of what this will be. So you can see here a glimpse of some of the value, and we'll talk more about this later, but some highlights. These are real snapshots, screenshots rather, of discussions and questions that are being asked in the group. It's a true inner circle. Collaborate without the distractions and other noise. Masterminds, expert events that drive real results. We got a digital conference happening next week, for example. Plug and play resources to scale faster. We've got a resource library in there, and every single month we're dropping new content, new videos for our members. Gamified challenges and rewards. Like we mentioned, we have a 14-day recruiting blitz. We've had tremendous feedback from that. People are having fun with it and getting results. And the other week, or no, 2 weeks ago, we had somebody who recruited 2 agents directly tied to the activities and efforts in the 14-day recruiting blitz. So that's pretty cool. So again, it's taking it from in the app, and these again are real screenshots and examples of what you can expect inside of the community, knowing it's also got an app. So you can take it on the phone if you need help or in the state of an emergency. I just need to get this out. Grab your phone, pull up the R.E.L.C app, and post and collaborate with us. You can take us on the go. But it's not just about being online. Come on now. It's going to in person as well. And you can see some of the recent shots that we've had at our amazing events. Because, guys, the single greatest thing that I am most excited about is this. As wonderful as the online community is and the resources and trainings and masterminds that are taking place already, what I am most excited about is this. It's working with each of you as independent broker owners in your respective cities, states, and regions, and doing something similar to the WCR, the YPN groups, these mastermind networks, not so official, but the point is having local, state, or regional meetups that we can organize and come into your areas, your markets, and host mastermind events in person, host training events in person. So now we get to break bread with each other, hang out, have a good time, and form the real relationships offline. But it all has to start here because we're spread all across the United States. And that's the first step of bringing this community together. But the ultimate goal is have regional and or state chapters that we can really start to leave our footprint across the United States and lock arms with one another. All right. So, like I said before, there is a free membership. Yes, absolutely free. No gotcha moments, no strings attached. 100% of you should be in there. I'll never understand why you don't. Okay. But that's for just get in there, start asking questions, start interacting, take advantage of the free resources, including, by the way, one of our greatest programs called Leadership Track for Recruiting. It's like 2.5 hours with a workbook. It's amazing that I promise you that's worth the price of admission, free, right there in and of itself. For those of you who want more, yes, we do have a low cost VIP all access pass membership available as well. And that's where you can unlock everything. That's only $450 for the entire year. That makes you a founding member of the R.E.L.C., 450 bucks for the year, and it unlocks a plethora of other things included. So you can see here on the free membership, the main notables are access to the indie broker community, as well as the vendor marketplace, where we're partnering with vendors that we have vetted to get you discounts and exclusive offerings that nobody else can. In there as well for free members, we have resources, events taking place, limited training modules available to you, on and on and on. And then, like I said, the gamification piece with our Leaders and Legends rewards program. So get in the game, get your jersey dirty with us, and start collaborating with one another. Those of you who want everything plus the kitchen sink, like we mentioned, there's a VIP all access pass. The perks here include being a part of those regional and or local chapters that we launch. Early bird and or discounted event pricing. Example, we've got a virtual conference happening next week for any paid VIP member of the R.E.L.C. That's completely free to you. Otherwise, anybody can attend, but it's $97 for a ticket. Okay. Also, May 1st and 2nd, we have our next in-person event for broker owners down in Greenville, South Carolina. Normal ticket cost is 199 bucks, but if you're a part of the VIP All Access Pass program as a founding member, then we're going to knock 20% off that ticket price for you. Okay. Exclusive resources and courses. It unlocks more than obviously the free side would get as far as courses and materials are concerned. Monthly value drops in the resource vault, live leadership training and masterminds exclusively for VIP members, the action-packed 14-day recruiting blitz that I referenced earlier, broker hack video library with crunchy short content drops happening from experts in the industry. And then, of course, as we continue to grow, this should unlock leadership opportunities to become R.E.L.C. ambassadors and or chapter leaders, which might carry with it some financial incentives as well. So here's a quick look. If you want to screenshot this, go for it, of the comparison versus the free community versus the all access VIP pass. I just went over it, but it's a quick, easy way to digest everything I just said and what the difference between the two is. And by the way, if nothing else, like I said, join for free. You can always decide later if you want to upgrade. If you're vibing with us and you like what you see so far, that's cool. In fact, we had that happen a couple of weeks ago. I won't share the gentleman's name, but he knows who he is. He was on one of our mastermind discussions, available to everybody. And midway through, he said, "Man, this is already worth it." And he went and upgraded right then on the spot, midway through our mastermind session, and grabbed his all access pass. So I thought that was pretty cool. We've already got over 120, I want to say 120 plus broker owners and leaders inside of the R.E.L.C., and it's growing every single day. We just launched this about 30 days ago. So I'd say it's going pretty well so far. We want you to be a part of it in whatever capacity that looks like. Again, just an example of what some of the conversations and questions are looking like from current members, probably some of which you might recognize. Here's some more statements from current members on what they're saying and the value. To sum it up without reading every single one of these, I see the word collaborate quite often. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. Are you seeing the trend? Okay. This is your place, not mine solely, not yours solely, but it's ours. This is for you, the community. And I just can't emphasize that enough. So, to wrap this up, where do we go from here? Well, you can either scan the QR code or type in relc.app, relc.app. That's the landing page. Should look something like this on the left-hand side if you're on your phone, and very similarly if you're on your desktop. But on there, you're gonna have to those two options: poke around, scroll through, check it out, talk to other members, and see what they think if you want. But you're going to see the two options. One, join for free. You get access to all the things that we mentioned. And if you just want to go for it, pay that $450 one time for the entire year. Obviously, we'd love to have you there as well. So, with that being said, that is it for me. And here, I'll stop sharing my screen real quick if I can. Stop share. There we go. So hopefully you got some value from this. Hopefully, if nothing else, you understand what the heck is the R.E.L.C, what is our vision, what is our mission moving forward. Put simply, it's to create a community of collaboration for independent broker owners where we can band together. We have our own outlet. We can have our buckets filled from each other and hold one another accountable and truly care about the health and well-being of one another so that we can show up bigger and better for our agents, for our families, and for ourselves. That is my wish. All right. So get in here, reach out to me if you have any questions. Happy to answer. And like I said, if nothing else, get in the free community. What do you have to lose? Go take advantage of what's back there for you. But we hope you stick around and find a lot of value by contributing and participating in the community with us. All right. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Again, Jake Dixon here. If you have any questions at all, relc.app. Come on, get in the game. Let's go. I'll talk to you guys later.